Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start this lesson off by giving all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakudash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Honors to our brothers who are fervently preaching the word in sincerity and in faith. Shalom to the sincere Akwath, and Shalom to the scattered Israelites who are amongst these heathen nations and look like these heathen. Now this lesson is going to be based on 2 teenagers that killed 5 family members in a targeted mass shooting. So through the Spirit, I'm going to read this article, get some precepts, and Lord's will be ratified. It says 7 family members were shot, 5 fatally, in what officials described as a targeted mass shooting in Illinois on Sunday. 2 teenage suspects, both 16, were taken into custody in connection with the shootings. Illinois State Police announced at a press briefing charges have not yet been filed against the suspects. Police said there were shootings at multiple locations in East St. Louis, Illinois, including at 39th and Summit, the Gompers Public Housing Project in Jones Park. 5 people were killed while 2 others were transported to a hospital with serious injuries. So I just want to say, these alleged acts of horrific violence taking this number of lives here in this community, it's terrible, it's evil, but it will not keep this city down, police said. Officials further called the incident a terrible, terrible act of violence. Police said there was no known threat to the public. Yeah, but this was judgment of the Lord. That's ultimately what it boils down to. Those 2 teenagers who executed this judgment were spirits of vengeance that the Lord used to punish those 5 family members who got killed and those 2 that got injured. Ecclesiasticus 39 and 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. And when you look up the definition of appease, it means to satisfy. So that judgment happening satisfied the wrath of the Lord. Because like it says in Psalm 7 and 11, Yahweh judgeth the righteous, and Yahweh is angry with the wicked every day. So the Lord was angry with those 7 people who got shot, and he was particularly angry with the 5 who got killed. And that judgment playing out, being executed, and coming to pass, being fulfilled basically, that appeased or satisfied his wrath. Verse 29, fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. Verse 30, teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction. And the modern day sword is a gun. And that's what those 2 teens used to execute that judgment. They used the modern day sword. They used a gun or guns to punish those wicked people with whom the Lord was angry with to destruction. Proverbs 20 and 24. Man's goings are of the Lord Yahweh. How can a man then understand his own way? And that's right, because people will say that those teenagers were evil and this, that, and the third, but they don't understand that those teenagers were controlled by the Lord. The Lord just used them to execute his judgment. They didn't wake up one day and on their own just decide that they were going to do that. The Lord put the Spirit on them to do that. Because the Lord wanted that judgment executed, and having those 2 teenagers execute that judgment was what he wanted. So that's how he set it up. And that's how it played out. What people don't understand is that every single person on this planet is controlled by the Lord. All of that illusion of having free will and being able to do whatever you want to do is a lie. Whatever you do, whether it be righteous or wicked, is controlled by the Heavenly Father. Deuteronomy 32:39. See now that I, even I, am He, and there is no power with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. And this judgment is a prime example of that. 5 people got killed and 2 people got wounded. And for those 5 people who died, there was nothing that could have been done to save them out of the hand of the Heavenly Father. 1 Samuel 2:6, the Lord Yahweh killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. And that's right. So while people will demonize these teenagers, ultimately, the Lord is the one who killed these people. The Lord is the one who decided that He wanted them to die. And He decided that He wanted them to die by being shot. The credit always goes back to the Heavenly Father. And people refuse to acknowledge that. Because when people get upset, when someone dies from a stabbing or a shooting or something, a lot of people, they want somebody that they can be angry with. And, you can be angry with the Lord, but the thing is, there's nothing you can do. You can't take the Lord to court or anything like that. You know, you can't hurt the Lord. So people, in their carnality and in their simplicity, they just look at it as, oh, it's, whenever a person does something against another person or other people, these simple-minded people, they're just like, oh, well, this person did it because they're evil and all of that. But reality is that they were just a spirit of vengeance that the Lord used to execute His judgment. If the Lord did not put the spirit on people to do certain things, those certain things would never happen. But in situations like this, where there's like a targeted mass shooting, those people who died, they were not innocent in the eyes of the Lord. Those were the people that the Lord was angry with. That's why those are the people who that judgment was executed upon. Job 4:7, remember I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off? And the answer is that nobody has ever perished being innocent, nor were the righteous ever cut off. So those 5 people who died were not innocent. The 2 people who were injured, they were not innocent either. But the Lord didn't want to kill them. He just wanted to wound them. And that's why they're wounded and the other ones are dead. Oh, Slack. Verse 8, even as I have seen, they that plow iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same. And that's what we've been seeing take place every day. Wicked people reaping what they've sown. Whether it's a shooting, whether it's a stabbing, whether it's a car crash, whether people are getting wounded and killed in fires, these storms and tempests, these earthquakes. The judgment of the Lord is constantly being brought upon them because they're wicked. And whether these carnal, simple-minded people are willing to accept it, these people who die, they deserve it. Ecclesiastes 3:1. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. Verse 2, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. And for those 5 people, it was their time to die. And for many other people, we are living in a time where they're going to die. There's a lot of people who are not going to make it to see next year. There's a lot of people who are going to die today, tomorrow, next week, next month, so on and so forth. Because there's a lot of wicked people on this earth that the Lord is angry with, and who he's going to continue to pour out his wrath upon. So we can expect to see a lot more articles and stories about people dying, whether they be men, women, or children. Because we always also have to keep in mind that the Lord is no respecter of persons. And seeing these judgments and reading about these judgments and hearing about these judgments should make you fear the Lord. Because like it says in Proverbs 19:23, the fear of the Lord Yahweh tendeth to life. He that hath it shall abide satisfied. He shall not be visited with evil. So if you fear the Lord and you're constantly self-examining, making sure you're doing righteous things which according to the scriptures are pleasing in the sight of the Lord, if you're rehearsing the righteous acts daily and following the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability, then, and you're continuing to move and live your life, fearing the Lord and not wanting to anger the Lord, then the Lord, he's going to keep you safe. He's going to protect you. But you see what happens to those who don't fear the Lord, the ones who are out here being just as wild, wicked, and reckless as they can be. Eventually, all of that catches up to them, and it results in their death. So we always have to keep that in mind as well. But with that, I'm going to wrap it up here. In closing, I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rakakudash, the Wadi Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, putting the Spirit on me to do this lesson. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Honors to our brothers who are still fervently preaching the word in sincerity and in faith. Shalom to the sincere Akwath, which are the sincere sisters. And shalom to the scattered Israelites who are amongst these heathen nations and look like these heathens. I hope you all stay strong, stay safe, stay fervent, stay circumspect, stay prayed up, and Adawan Ratazah. Till next time, shalom.